Hi, and welcome to Tom Talk Shop. Today I'm going to show you how to sharpen a crosscut saw. This is kind of an add-on to the video we did last week. And I just got done testing our sharpening job, and I know it works good, so let's get started. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you very much. Okay, in front of me here, I have all the basic tools we need to sharpen the saw. I have the group I have here. I need to do my set and then to do the filing of the thing. You'll need some kind of a peening hammer. That's essentially what this is. It was a body hammer, but I turned it into a peening hammer. This is a simple anvil I made from hardwood. Probably I'd recommend you make one out of a little bit harder stock than this. I'm going to remake this soon out of like rock maple or something, but still working on the angle on this particular one. You'll need punches for your various sizes, a couple of cheap clamps to clamp your saw blade to your anvil that you've got, appropriate size saw files, and here's what they look like if you're not familiar with them. You can find them at most hardware stores. I think it's where most of these came from. You want 2 chocks if you're going to clamp it into an anvil. That's how I do it. There are special anvils for doing this, but I don't have one. And you're going to need a speed square or something to get an angle off of. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, we have my high production values model here of a section of crosscut saw right here. I'll try to keep my hand out of the way. I can't see what I'm doing. And a bit of rip. We've had some people, when we did the rip saw, they had a blade that didn't cut right. Turned out they got this kind of a blade when they should have had that. It's pretty easy to tell with a rip saw blade. Your teeth will be almost straight up and down on the cutting surface, and they'll have quite a bit more back slope here. On a crosscut saw, it's almost a diamond or a pyramid. And you can see these are kind of exaggerated, but you can see with this model, when you sharpen it, the file should actually do both sides of the tooth, going this way and that, and going this way and that. And I'll show that from another angle when we get into the filing portion of it. So let's move on to the set. Okay, I've got my anvil clamped down on the workbench. How you can do this, or you could set up just a place to do this and screw it down. It wouldn't matter. And make a lot bigger one too. This was a piece of wood I had at the time, and that's what I made it out of. Now, how I do this is for each blade, I have a mark here that I marked in with a gauge. And then I bring I hope the camera can see this, I bring the bottom of the gullet right up to the mark, and I get right there, and I clamp it. Then I go to the other end, and I rinse and repeat. And here you can see I made a mark, the last tooth I did, so I need to do the next tooth. So this one will be the next tooth I set. So I stopped right here and I marked up my next gullet. So this was the last tooth I set. Now you count over 1 tooth, and then you go to the second tooth, you skip a tooth. So every other tooth gets set, and I'm ready to go ahead and set the second tooth, and then I'll just do every other one till I get down here. I'll make another mark and then slide it on down. So now I know which tooth I'm ready to set. I just go ahead and give it a good whack. Yeah, I didn't like that one. And if it slides off like that one just did, you just reset it. This isn't a precision operation. Okay, now I was going to talk about finding the right size file for your thing. This is a big tooth here, and you can see I've got a tiny little file. Okay, you can see actually that is too small for this tooth. My understanding of these things is the file should be quite a bit above it when you're doing it. So the correct tooth, or at least the correct file that I use for this is this one right here. I use this for both my big rip and this guy. And you can see it fits in there pretty nicely. And it has a lot more heft to it for doing these larger ones. Now you have a small blade like this, which is the piece we cut off from the previous video. It fits in there, and that is about the correct size for this type of blade. These I use for most of my cross-cutting and a lot of cutting larger joinery work for both rip and cross-cut, but this particular one is a Sharpen cross-cut, but it works like that. Now, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking, as soon as I know I've got the right angle here, every other tooth we're going to be taking and we're going to be sharpening at a certain angle. And this is very exaggerated, but we'll be running the file along this way and sharpening the back of the previous tooth and the opposite tooth, I'm sorry, and the front of the next one. So in fact, it would be easier to show this way. So we'll be sharpening going this way like that. And then the next one would be like this, and we'll be getting the tooth in front of it. So you can see that at that angle, it would technically be getting both sides if I had, of course, had a file that was, well, that big. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. I hope that makes plenty of sense. And I will cut and we'll put my chocks in the vise and we'll get started with sharpening the saw. Okay, I've got my high-tech chalk blocks here. They're 2 pieces of wood out of the scrap bin. And I even used the live edge to my favor so I could get under the angle a little bit. So I'll tell you how much work I put into them. I have some angle marks on here that just kind of give me some index angles. So how we're going to calculate our angle is, this is 0, not 90, but we consider this to be 0 degrees. And for cross-cutting, about the minimum angle, I'm just saying these are all wild guesses, but this is about 20 degrees, and this is about your minimum angle. And you can go up to about 35 degrees, which is, as a guess, is about here. I just kind of know different blades. Once I kind of get them sharpened the way I like them, I just follow what I did before. This particular blade, we're going to sharpen it pretty close to the 20-degree line. Not exactly, maybe, but because I'm going to be cutting green wood, I want it to really tear and rip. If you're wanting to cut finer, you go closer to that 35-degree line. I suppose you could go over it, but I've never done that. So with that, let's get on to the next step. And you've got to make sure, like I didn't do the first time we shot this, that I'm going the right direction. On my blade up here where it doesn't ever get used, I actually have an arrow indicating the direction of cut. So what I'm going to be doing on this blade is I'm going to be sharpening pretty close to my 20-degree angle that I've got here because I want a very aggressive cut. So what you want to do is find the tooth, and this one here where I just marked was the last tooth I'd done. And you want to find the tooth that is, bent away from the side you're working on, and then count up to every other tooth. So this is my next one, which is also, you can tell because it's bent the correct direction. You lay your file in there, and I'm going to stick pretty close to my angle on this one. And I'm actually recutting these teeth, so the first couple of scrapes are going pretty hard. Now it's going easy. Now I just go to every other one again. Do the same thing. Now, a good idea is you just want to file off until you get all of you can see when you look at it, and the camera really won't see it. You can see that you get a nice shiny edge on this front side of the tooth, and it does shape the back side of the tooth on the other side, so that it keeps pushing the gullet down as you cut down. Also, as you go, I don't always do this, but I'm going to tell you, even if I don't always practice this, you should after every scrape, you should turn your file so that you're evenly wearing your file. That makes your file last a whole lot longer. Now we have a tooth there that's kind of misformed. I don't know how that happened, but I'll just take a couple of swipes at it. And there we go. It's still a little bit malshapen, but it looks a lot better already. And I'm just going to keep making my way all the way down to the end. And in the next scene, I'll flip it around and go the other way. Okay, I'm going to take it. I've got that whole side done, and I'm just going to take the whole blade, flip it around like that. Getting help from the shop cat here. And I'm just going to chuck it back in there. Now, again, you just go find your first tooth that's going away from you. And I'm going cutting the right direction here. And we just follow the same angle. All right, let's take a test cut. Oh yeah, much better. Yep, it works.